Hello everyone, Kenoki here, and today one more game, Crackedy versus BeastyQt, training for Golden League 2 with the whole set of Golden League 2. They are gonna play this game on Holy Island, playing the Chinese versus the Chinese. Yes, it's a Chinese mirror, something that we don't see very often, and I wanna see what build orders they are gonna go for. We can see on the side of Crackedy, he's going for 4 villager onto wood, 1 onto food, and 1 going for a dock. On the side of BeastyQt, 5 villagers onto wood, a 6th one actually added, and 1 onto towards the shore to place a dock. So very interesting already, we have a deviation. Will BeastyQt run out of food? Will he idle his TC for a second? That's the big question. We will see. We can see that Crackedy has gone for an Imperial official. Okay. Okay, very unique here. I really like this actually. I really like this. I wonder, Crackedy, if you tried to go for example, you cut here with your 5 villagers, and then you place the thing, you supervise at the same time, and you get a little bit of wood at the same time. I wonder if it works. So we can see here the first dock is coming out of both sides. BeastyQt is a bit earlier with his first fishing boat. That's gonna count for something at least. We can see that the villager production is keeping up on both sides. For now, they haven't missed a bit. Oh, as I say that, Crackedy, Crackedy, your house. Damn, boy. Ay, 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 ay. So that's it. Crackedy is behind. He's not that far behind because there is still the Imperial official that is going to net him quite a lot actually in the long term. But we can see, like, for now, basically what you have to understand is that an Imperial official, okay, what does an Imperial official do? An Imperial official, it boosts your villagers by 20%, basically, okay? So when you have 5 villagers, an Imperial official is basically adding a 6th, okay? But it costs 3 times the amount of villagers. So as long as you don't have 6 villagers or more onto resources, it's not really worth it having an Imperial official boosting it. Okay, that's the way of thinking about it. You need 6 villagers onto the resource to be worth it. And so that early Imperial official, while it's interesting, I don't think it's worth it. We're gonna see. So we can see now that BeastyQt still hasn't made an Imperial official. It's finally coming out, and he's gonna be ahead at this point. We can see 3 fishing boats versus only 2. The third is coming out, but we can see BeastyQt at this time is already on his 4th. And yeah, the early Imperial fishing is making you lose tempo that you need in order to get your fishing boat faster. Basically, that's how it is. That's just the way it is. Things are never gonna be the same. Yes, I love singing. Yes, I love West Coast rap. And yes, I love Tupac. I believe that's Tupac, right? That's not. No. That was Tupac's song, right? I'm not sure. But yeah, we can see 4 fishing boat on the side of Crackedy. The 5th is coming out. 5th already. 6th coming out for BeastyQt. Imperial official finally onto wood. So what I could say right now is I think the build order from BeastyQt is actually superior. I don't think the very early Imperial official is worth it in that specific case. But maybe with a little bit of adaptation, it could work better. But we'll have to check. Basically, we'll have to check. Crackedy though is gonna have a little bit more taxes coming out because he has his second camp already. While with this camp, like, he's probably gonna get saturated very quickly. We can see double dock with 2 fishing ships being queued. I think Crackedy is gonna try to go for a faster edge up. We can see he's already going for his stone camp with more villagers. He also has more food. So Crackedy is likely going to reach feudal age a lot faster. So feudal age a lot faster, is it that important? Honestly, no. It is not. However, it can be if you make good usage of it. That's always the same thing. If you make good usage of your timings, you can always try to get some damage onto your opponent. Basically, go for an early Hulk, surprise your opponent, and boom, smash him. So what I would like to see here from Crackedy is really a very fast edge up. I would like to see him trying to edge up with like 4 villagers, basically. And that's what he's gonna do. So there you go. Edge up with 4 villagers. He's gonna try to edge up as fast as possible in order to get that combat ship on the way. BeastyQt is gonna DQ 2 villagers and he's gonna go for an edge up on his own. So clearly here we can see Crackedy, because of the opening, is behind. Why? Because BeastyQt has been more greedy. Like, period. At the end of the day, it's not even the start with the Imperial official. It's just that BeastyQt played greedy. And very often in mirrors, if that's one thing that you can learn, is that in mirrors you want to be one step greedier than your opponent. Why? Because everything you do, your opponent can do as well, and everything your opponent do, you can do as well. Okay? But it takes time to actually cross the map. It takes a few seconds, okay? So if your opponent is a few seconds ahead of you in terms of timing, that's not that big of an issue, because this timing it's gonna be cancelled by the time he needs to travel across the map. And that's exactly what BeastyQt is doing right now. He's gonna use the time it's gonna take for Crackedy to traverse the map in order to get a combat ship on his own. And you can see that because of that, he can even react. He sees an archer ship, he's gonna immediately go for double war junk. And at that point, Crackedy, you are in a world of trouble because you have less economy than your opponent because you went for the more aggressive play, and your opponent is reacting to what you are doing, so he's gonna have the counter unit while you are trying to be proactive with the wrong unit, basically. I'm not saying that you made the wrong unit, but it's just that it's easy for BeastyQt to react to it, and that's it. Your pressure is now dead. We can see 14 fishing boats on the side of BeastyQt. We have only 10 on the side of Crackedy. More combat ships coming out, but I think that Beasty now is gonna be triple dog production. That's gonna be really hard. The big thing is, can Crackedy get a huge connection with this junk? That's basically all he can hope for before the archer ship is out. We can see nothing on land. Nothing. BeastyQt is gonna go into a Song Dynasty, but that's it. The fight is starting on the water. The archer ship is already out, so good jukes! Good jukes actually by Crackedy. He's gonna try to go for it. Yes. Ah, sad. Sad. He almost did it. Almost did the jukes until the end, and now he's gonna have to retreat. 1 archer ships or 1 demolition ships, a little bit of elder time, but that's it. Nothing major, really. Crackedy gonna try to get the scout. Is he gonna get it? Yes, good pickup actually. Good pickup, and now we can see Crackedy on triple Hulk, triple war junk, sorry, and his opponent is on triple war junk as well. So basically equal comp, but Crackedy has took some damage. The big thing he has going for him is that he's the one pressuring. And when you are the one pressuring, you are the one idling the eco of your opponent, so that's pretty good for him actually. But BeastyQt is on Song Dynasty. Crackedy isn't yet on Song Dynasty. So, what is going to be the reaction from Crackedy at this point? He's going to go for a Song Dynasty himself. I don't think so. He's not microing for it. He's going to try to keep pressuring that water, keep hammering that water. The thing that you have to understand is that BeastyQt is 5 villagers ahead. So that's going to be really difficult here for Crackedy. He needs a huge connection, but at that point there are enough war junk to basically one-shot the ship of his opponent, and at that point that's gonna be really hard. We can see BeastyQt, he has too many war junks, and at that point I feel bad for Crackedy. That's gonna be difficult. 2 more demolition ships coming in, but we can see the shots are coming out. It's good split here by BeastyQt. Crackedy gonna try to pick the archer ships. He does it. We can see a demolition ship is coming out. Is it gonna be destroyed? Yes, it's gonna be dealt with. But now Crackedy has to go back, like immediately, because this is too much. This is 7 ships. Demolition ships. Good focus on the archer ships. Huge connection here with the demolition ships. We can see that BeastyQt was likely not looking at his computer at that moment. Huge connection. It's really like basically turning this fight around. Is that connection gonna be huge as well? Is he gonna manage? Yes, he's gonna manage to cancel here that explosive junk, basically. but we can see that Crackedy has to go back despite that huge connection. Sadly, he hasn't killed the ships of his opponent, and so because of that, he's not going to be able to snowball. We can see that BeastyQt has to stay on the defensive, but same for Crackedy. Why? Because he has took too much damage onto his ships. Where are those? Oh, there is just no icon. I was like, what the heck? We can see Crackedy is gonna go for a Song Dynasty on his own. Crackedy is coming back in terms of villagers because he has killed some fishing ships here. Okay, so we can see here we have a total of 6 plus 4, that's 10. Quick math. Here we have 5, 7, 7, up 10. 10 fishing ships on both sides. So basically equal. A little bit more villagers on BeastyQt side on the land because he was Song Dynasty earlier, but pretty much that's it. In terms of upgrade, economic upgrade, we can see that BeastyQt is ahead with Wheelbarrow, but, but I'm not sure if Crackedy has gone for the upgrade here. I'm not sure about it. But yeah, basically, I would say BeastyQt is still ahead in economy, in theory. He should still be ahead, and Crackedy is going to go back on the offensive. 9 Hulks, 3 explosive junk. We can see that none of them are actually trying to get any pressure down on land. None of them. I'm a bit surprised by this. One or two horsemen could actually do a lot, but at the same time, I understand where they are coming from. The big thing is, from Crackedy's side, he has pretty much no choice than to try to hammer for the water. But from BeastyQt side, I'm surprised that he hasn't got for one Rax and one stable and like 2 horsemen. I'm a bit surprised. At least earlier. Now he couldn't. Let's be very clear. So big fight is gonna come out. Whoa, that's a lot of explosive ship. How are you gonna deal with that, Crackedy? Good split coming out, but that's too much. That's too much. Crackedy is gonna lose everything. Ooh, 2 junks down. Here we can see the explosive junks ready. Boom, a third one down. This ship is extremely low, and we can see at the end of the day, we have 6 war junk on one side. We have 9 on the other side. A huge amount of explosive ships. Remember, guys, when you are struggling, go boom boom. Basically, that's it. Good micro here by Crackedy. We can see he's not giving up yet, but that was a big loss, and we can see BeastyQt managed to secure the middle island, and very soon we may see towers here, trying to start pressuring that water, making sure that it's a bit awkward for Crackedy if they have to fight here, stuff like this. We could see some emplacement. A dock here with emplacement will cover basically up until here, which is pretty huge. Your opponent cannot cross anymore. That's really something that I think we could see on Holy Island, by the way, is a strategy with that dock emplacement in order to push back your opponents. At least from that middle island. You see what I mean? Like one dock here, 2 emplacement. Good luck pushing into that, and basically that way you secure your entire fishing eco. I really think that could be a thing. Really feel that could be a thing. So we can see BeastyQt is ahead by a mile. 8 explosive ships, sorry, 13 Hulk. On his side, Crackedy is struggling. He's struggling. He has a lot of war junk, but the problem is there are a lot of explosive ship coming. More 8 explosive ship. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna manage to get them down? We can see he's trying to gun them down. Actually, a connection probably happened here. Another connection, a third connection, a fourth connection. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. That's basically what BeastyQt is singing right now. He's doing so much damage to Crackedy with both ship. Good micro here, making sure he loses only 1 ship. And at that point, you can see that the snowball is huge. Those connections were too much. Making the economy of the archer ship was a mistake, Crackedy. You have to make archer ships versus BeastyQt. Boom! Good connection by Crackedy. He's trying to come back, like fighting under his dock, fighting under his barbican. But we can see that for now, it's not enough. And a new age begins. Behind this fight, BeastyQt stopped production for like 30 seconds. And it's enough. It's enough to go up because he has a huge economy, as we can see behind this. He's probably rebooming at the back. There you go. You can see as soon as you start winning, you boom again. You start booming again, you get more ahead, and that's exactly what BeastyQt is doing right now. He's going more ahead, and the problem is we are gonna see the racks, we are gonna see the palace guards, and they are gonna swarm. They are gonna completely swarm Crackedy. Crackedy is in shambles right now. Ooh, that stuff. Ooh, that stuff. He managed to do a comeback, but that big ball of explosive ship that he wasn't prepared for absolutely ravaged his entire fleet, and now he's in a world of trouble, and the palace guards are coming. There you go. Those bad boys here, they are gonna do damage, guys. They are gonna be nasty. We can see the +2 range armor range rivet, rigged wedge rivets is gonna come, and with that, Crackedy, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Crackedy is trying to transition himself into Castle Edge and go for stables. I believe that's to kill the palace guards. When you see palace guards, you have multiple options. One option is of course crossbowman, the other is knight, and I will go for knight in that case in order to try to then counter pressure. I believe that's what Crackedy is gonna try to do, but will he manage to do it? Will he manage to go to Castle Edge first, and then will he have enough eco in order to produce enough knight? We can see 2 knight coming out versus 12 Palace Guard already. 12 Palace Guard already. Crackedy is bleeding villager at this point. His entire fishing eco is down. And BeastyQt, his entire fishing eco is up. He's gonna start trading on water very likely. And we can see Palace Guard rampaging the knights, trying to deal with them. Knights are actually good versus Palace Guard. Remember, guys, they actually do really well. But the problem is, in order to make knights, you need food and you need gold. And those are two resources that are not in Crackedy's control. He cannot gather food. He cannot gather gold. So how are you gonna keep up, Crackedy? I don't see a way. But what I see are Palace Guard into your base. We can see that the TC is doing damage. He's trying to kill all of those Palace Guard. It's actually working. Like, BeastyQt is bleeding Palace Guard, but he doesn't care at that point. The goal is to make sure his opponent cannot gather the resources he needs in order to train units. The way to think about it is that as long as there is not an army, you can throw as many units as you want. Your opponent cannot train any. So that's what is happening right now. We can see BeastyQt is gonna keep ravaging the eco of Crackedy, and at that point, boom, Crackedy is gonna tap out because he has no gold. Since he has no gold, he cannot make more stables. He cannot make more, more knights. And that's it. Guys, do not skip the arrow ships when you go for an attack, because that's what can happen. Basically, a big counter attack with a lot of demolition ship. One thing to take though from this video, and I really want to hammer that point, when you are into a mirror, usually, unless you are absolutely unable, like unless you suck at playing defensive basically, or at playing reactively, the best way to approach a mirror is usually to try to be one step greedier than your opponent, and not a big step, a little step. Because that little step in the early game is gonna snowball into a middle step into the mid game, and if you don't, and if you keep going and keep playing that way, it's gonna snowball into a huge step as you enter in the later stages, basically. So try to be greedy in the early game, but just one step greedier than your opponent. You see that your opponent wants to go for a timing. I'm gonna throw some numbers out there. They are not true, but you get what I mean. Your opponent, for example, you're into a French mirror. That's a bit specific, but when you're into a mirror, usually you want to do stuff like 10 to 15 seconds after your opponent, and then keep up and keep playing defensive. The only exception to this, and I'm gonna point it out right now, is when it comes to very tempo-based matchups. So I'm thinking HRE, I'm thinking French. Basically, every matchup that is based on knights, you do not want to edge up later. But as soon as you are into a matchup, when I say a matchup, a mirror that is between two civs that don't have access to knight, and don't want to go for early knights, in that case, usually you want to be one step more greedy than your opponent. And that's why sometimes in Abbasin Mirror you see like 4 or 5 TCs almost, stuff like this. Usually you want to be one step greedier than your opponent. Of course, when you go for your 5th town center as the Abbasid and your opponent stop at 4, you are not just one step greedier. You are basically telling your opponent, please, like smack me right now, just destroy me. There is a limit to the amount of greed that you can achieve and how you can be that one step greedier. Sometimes it is just an upgrade, you know. Sometimes it is 2 more fishing ships. That's the kind of little step I'm talking about. You want to always try to achieve that, unless, and I want to be very clear on that, unless the mirror is based on tempo. So French, HRE, English in many ways, it's likely gonna devolve into a night war. So it's gonna be based on tempo. So those matchups, not so much. Rus as well will be very based on tempo. So I'm not sure for Rus because there is a lot of defensive potential on the side of Rus, so it can be very safe. So I'm not sure that you can actually push Rus versus Rus. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to check a little bit more games on that. Maybe it's going to be more tempo oriented with the changes that they are doing to Boyer's Fortitude, but yeah, you get the point. Tempo oriented, you go for the earlier edge up. If it's not tempo oriented, you want to go for the one step greedier. So in that case, Chinese versus Chinese, not tempo oriented, you want to go for that one step greedier into that mirror. That's it basically, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna do a short break and maybe cast another one. Maybe cast some Merlin games. We'll see if he's online. See ya, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.